So, all right, let's go to the pitch, Chris. We talked about your slider, and it is probably the best. I'm not going to fill your head with anything, but it's probably the best slider in college. It is the best slider in college. Who am I kidding? You had all your Ks were on the slider in that Duke game,
Yes. Oh yeah.
and were they all swinging strikes?
I don't know. I didn't check that yet, but they were all
I
sliders. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the thing, I guess, where everybody's like, "Why don't you lay off his slider? Why don't you lay off?" Well, I want to show people your grip, and let's go over your mentality of what you're trying to accomplish with your slider.
Okay, so like I said, it's my third year. I'm starting to understand Rapsodo a little bit more, so I can give you a better, like, I guess, detailed example of it. But really, I've always had. Where's the camera?
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
it's pretty simple, more so on the side of the ball, and it's definitely like a curved ball, 12-6 grip. And what I've learned over the years is really don't climb your arm and stay in that slot and then cut it off early. And that's those are terms that I use for myself, so I don't really know how other people are going to interpret that. But really, I've always had the feel for kind of making the ball get spin, get some break to it. And then I think in high school, junior year was when I learned how to make it. People want to call it a slider or call it like a power curve, and it's really just throw it as hard as you can. And that's what it's came out to be. And it stays with me, stays consistent. It's a pitch I don't really like to mess with. I'll mess with my other three and try things out, but that one's going to be the one I stick with for a while.
So let's hold it up close to the camera. I want to see where your finger is. There you go. And what are you trying? So you're on both the seams with you got your middle finger and your thumb on the seams. What are you trying to do with it?
Right. And I'm coming through. I'm throwing it just like a football, getting on top of it, trying to pull it down as hard as I can. And then sometimes, like when you climb it, it ruins it. But when you stay kind of in your slot and that normal slot, you throw your fastball and it's going to get that bullet spin. And that gyro is just really going to make it drop out the air.
So it's basically, is it mostly a dropping, like most gyro is going to have it go straight down, and that's what you're trying to accomplish.
Right. When it's at its best, when it's at its hottest, it's going to be, in my eyes, straight down. Whether if the metrics or the analytics are perfect, I don't know. But in my eyes, it's going to be dropping down a lot more rather than sweeping to the side.
Gotcha. And I think so that's to me what I saw, at least why it was tunneling well with your fastball, is the gyro. I mean, it starts out in the same plane and then you're swinging at your fastball, but that slider is way under it and a hitter just can't pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it plays off it well with the same arm slot, like you said. And really, it's that bullet spin that you really can't pick it up on.
So your cutter is what? Let's see your grip on your cutter.
It's a little higher. So my slider's right here and it's turned over, and then on cutter, I just try to stay on top of it a little bit better.
And so you're a little bit off center and you're just trying. Are you manipulating it just a little bit with your fingers at the end?
Yeah, but you don't want to get carried away with it because when it just spins and dies, of course, like everyone says, you overthrow it, it backs up, stuff like that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I think people, like kids especially, you want to see it move, and the the best cutters are moving like just a little bit to get off your bat.
So you think you need to throw it, and you think you need to spin it as hard as you can, when really it's more so just staying through it and being on time. So it comes back to your mechanics.
How is that playing on the Rapsodo?
The vertical is killed and it's all horizontal. So that's exactly what I was looking for.
So was that a Scott Brown invention, or you feel like you need?
Oh yeah, that was all Scotty. No, that was all Brownie. I'd say before I even threw the first open, just warming up in left field. Hey man, what about that cutter? What about the cutter? You think about that cutter? I'm like, shoot, let's try it. Because I had an idea of what it was. I'd say my freshman year, but I really didn't mess with it. And then I came back and like I said, my mechanics got more consistent. So now I feel more comfortable throwing different pitches out of there.
Yeah, that's going to be nasty, man. Adding a cutter.
I hope so. I hope so.
And what else do you throw?
Changeup. I think that's my most improved pitch, and it's one of those things where like those coaches and just people around me, hey, let's get that changeup right. Let's get that changeup right. So this year, I'm really looking forward to kind of like doing my best to showcase that at the right counts, at the right times, and just doing what I can with it.
What kind? Are you doing a circle change grip? Or?
I think it's a little unorthodox in most people, but I think it's circle. I'd say it's circle. It's just gripped on top of those horseshoes. So
and are you pronating through it? Not pronating through it?
Pronating through it and trying to get it off this ring finger. So it's a little bit different. If I feel that at the end of the ball, then I feel like it's going to be a good pitch. But with that, it's about staying closed a little bit longer than opening up at the right time. So it comes down to the timing with my changeup, because that elbow can drop really easily.
So is that something? I mean, I think your coaches are harping on not only what's going to make you effective this year,
Mhm.
but also what's going to take you in the
In the
future.
future. Correct. Yeah. So it's just great coaches, great support, obviously.
Because you obviously can get people out just probably throwing your fastball slider, I'm saying.
So far, yes.